Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Welcome once again to an hour of laughs, fun, music, entertainment, which is probably happening somewhere else on the internet because it sure isn't going to be here. This is GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me, as always, as we do every single Friday night. And the reason for that we do this every Friday night is simple. We're bored stiff and have nothing better to do with our lives. I'm kidding. No, it actually is really true. But no, actually, we did this. We started this a couple of years ago. And it's just a way of everybody getting together, having some fun, letting our hair down, so to speak, talking about stuff that's going on in the world. Got a guitar here, maybe bringing a song or two, who knows? Anything could happen in the course of the next hour. Now, if you're watching this live right now, I know you're used to the chat being way over there. It's over there. No, it's not. It's right here. You see that? It's right there. There. You see it? It's right there. We bring the chat to you, because that's the type of folks we are. We're public-spirited citizens. You don't have to strain your neck and go all the way over there when you can just sit here and watch it right here like this. And you can interact as well. If you're watching the replay, hey, don't worry about that thing over there. We got it over to you. And we will, in fact, answer you if you're watching the replay. Yeah, I don't know when, but we'll definitely do it. Depends upon how well the TARDIS is working. Anyway, we've got all kinds of people coming in to talk to us already this evening. Our occasional guest co-host, Chris King, has decided to come in to answer the mail, so to speak, as well as Amu City saying, "Yo, party people, where you at? Hey, put your hands up." I know, it's funny to watch the old fat guy do it, isn't it? And even Big Sister Judy, just popping in to wish my big brother an early happy... Yeah, okay, let's forget about that. Anyway, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. That's not happening, okay? Just letting you know. But yeah, all kinds of things going on here this evening. Mike Stem has popped in this evening from Lattimore Sky, one of my favorite bands of all time. Mike, good to see you as always, my man. Thank you so much for popping in. And if you're here and you're new and you want to find out what the heck we're up to and who these people are, come on in and talk to us. We enjoy having you. Let us know where you're from, who you are. And yeah, you'll find out that, you can lower your standards just like we do every week. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. Of course, we've got to get the obligatory promo out of the way, which is just what we're going to do right about now. If my screen decides it wants to cooperate. Yeah, it's one of those days. Got this all together in a little flash. But hey, that doesn't mean that we can't talk about our friends at Hugs 24/7 Radio, HUGSATWRGG.com. That is the website. And our pal Cyrus Gray will have the Hugs, he said tongue-tied, top 10 countdown coming up right after this show, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, on this on another piece of bandwidth. As I said, Hugs 24/7 Radio. He will be giving you the top 10 independent unsigned artists from all over the world. And it's great listening and a lot of fun, and we recommend that you watch it. Definitely, the Hugs Top 10 Countdown. That's on Hugs 24/7 Radio, HUGSATWRGG.com. If I can borrow one from Jeff Dunham. So, yeah, that's going on right after this show here. Let's see. Lost Pages popping in. John's popping in. Popping in to say hi fast from Utah. Shooting a new music video tonight. Have a great show. You and Cyrus rock. Thank you, my man. I certainly do appreciate it. Pat, right there. A great example, Lost Pages, one of the great bands that we have on Hugs Radio. You should definitely check them out, as does Mike Stem with Lattimore Sky. You should definitely check them out as well. Always good times. But shooting a new music video tonight, always good times. I'm looking forward to it. I really am, Pat. Thanks for letting us know that. But anyway, yeah, speaking of things that are happening, let's see. And Noreen, everybody's popping in this evening. You gotta love it. Noreen Henry says, have a good show tonight. Well, thank you, Noreen. I appreciate that. And you have a good show, too. Does anybody ever wish each other that? You just walk down the street. Hey, have a great show. Nobody does that anymore, you know? But Noreen does it. Noreen does it right there. And you can too. If you're new here, pop in. Say hi to us. We're all about that kind of thing. We do all kinds of neat things here on the show. In fact, for example, it is time to get right to, it's a short one this evening, thank goodness. But as always, we have to start off with our regular weekly feature. That's right. Pull the cards out, kids. It's time for the Deadpool report. Let's get into it. Like I said, only a short one this evening, but it's a surprise just the same. I don't think anybody had this on their 2023 Deadpool cards. But yeah, this in from our friends at CNN.
This is CNN.
Raquel Welch, the veteran actress who rose to fame, according to CNN, in the 60s with films like 1 Million Years BC and Fantastic Voyage, which is pretty much her entire catalog of films. She has died, according to her statement by her manager, Steve Sauer. She was 82, died Wednesday morning in L.A. after a brief illness. Is it me, or is that... Is it me, or is that there a lot of that going around these days? A brief illness. You know, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you don't want people to know you're sick, but you're already gone, man. Just let people know. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anybody. She had more than 70, I take it back, she had more than 70 films and TV credits. She got her start, and I did not know this, and this used to be one of my favorite shows, too. She was a spokesmodel on the Hollywood Palace, the old Hollywood Palace in 1964. And she also had a small role with Elvis in Roustabout, that movie. But then her career took off a couple of years later, the release of Fantastic Voyage. Remember that? The team of scientists that shrunk and was injected into a critically ill man's body? Yeah, that was just a little weird. I'm sorry. Then, of course, there was her breakout role in more than one way. 1 Million Years BC, as it is reported here by CNN as a prehistoric drama which cast Welch as the cave woman Luana, with photos of her in a fur bikini becoming the foundation of the movie's marketing campaign. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how they sold that piece of trash, by putting Raquel out there. There's no other way to put it. It catapulted her into superstardom. She became the world's sex symbol in the 60s. There's no other way to put it. She worked forever. We all know that. She did Bandolero, 100 Rifles, of course, Fantastic Voyage, like I said, in 1967, 1 Million Years BC. She also starred as Lillian Lust in Bedazzled, a film that was later remade in 2000 with Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser. She was born here in Chicago. I did not know that. She is a veteran of the great city of Chicago. She also went on to star as Constance Don Bonicio in The Three Musketeers in 1973, and won a Golden Globe for that performance, and came back next year in The Four Musketeers, Milady's Revenge. She also worked in Myra Breckinridge, where she played the true story. Even Noreen, Noreen Henry popping in saying Myra Breckinridge. Yeah, she did that in the 70s as well. Did a bunch of stuff in the 90s. A few sitcoms. She was on Seinfeld, Spin City, Evening Shade. She was on Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, of all things. Yeah, she was on Legally Blonde. She starred in Legally Blonde, which I vaguely remember. I mean, I know the movie, but I vaguely remember her being in it with Reese Witherspoon. But yeah, it's like she was always the sex symbol. Always the sex symbol. Although she never did a nude scene or a sex scene in any of her movies in her career. Never. She was always, the sexy Raquel Welch. And the name Raquel Welch is synonymous with sexy women. She did talk about this in an interview in 2001 with Cinema.com. And she said, part of being a sex symbol is very flattering, and it does help you get success in the business, but only to a point. But it does cloud people's imaginations. They just can't see you being able to do anything else. And her last credit came in 2017. She was in the TV show Date My Dad. She was Rosa, the mother-in-law. Never saw that show. Don't care. So yeah. So I mean, that's and it's kind of sad. We're losing our idols. She left behind 2 children, son Damon and her daughter Tani, according to her manager's statement. But yeah, sad to say, only one. But again, it's like, God, quit throwing our idols around, so to speak. Raquel Welch, gone at the age of 82. That's this week's, thank goodness, that's this week's Deadpool report. Amy City saying, no. Yes, it's true. And yes, yes, Chris, we will acknowledge your line. Oh, no, not those. Yes, I'm afraid so. I could make a really sick joke about being jealous of the mortician, but Amy City he's saying we also lost David Jude Jolicoeur this week. Stella Stevens. I didn't know Stella Stevens went. Oh, wow. I hadn't heard about that. I was actually, I thought it was going to be an easy week. In fact, I neglected talking about Tim McCarver, the great, catcher and baseball commentator for NBC. David Jude was a member of De La Soul. Oh, yes, that's right. I did read about that briefly. Yeah, it's De La Soul, definitely. David Jude gone, Stella Stevens gone, Tim McCarver gone, and Bruce Willis almost gone. Yeah, afraid so. This in yesterday, as we were starting to get the show together, this came in. Apparently, there's an update on Bruce's health. You might remember that he's suffering from he's suffering from aphasia, which impacted his cognitive skills. This was back in March of last year. Unfortunately, though, it's gotten worse. Apparently, they're saying that he's now suffering from what's called FTD, frontotemporal dementia. He is suffering from dementia now. Willis's family wrote, unfortunately, challenges with communication are just one symptom of the disease Bruce faces. This is painful, and it's a relief to finally have a clear diagnosis. FTD is a cruel disease that many of us have never heard of and can strike any time. For people under 60, FTD is the most common form of dementia. And because getting the diagnosis can take years, FTD is much more likely to be prevalent than we know. There's no treatments for the disease, a reality that we hope can change in the years ahead. But as Bruce's condition advances, we hope that any media attention can be focused on shining a light on this disease that needs far more awareness and research. The family statement was signed by, of course, his ex-wife, Demi Moore. The whole picture seen here, the whole family seen here, pictured together over Christmas. His current wife, Emma, all of his kids. Yeah, that's really sad. The average life expectancy is 7 to 13 years after the start of symptoms. And the most common cause of death is pneumonia, according to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration, if you want to look up what it is that they've got here. The family also wrote, Bruce has always believed in using his voice in the world to help others and raise awareness about important issues both publicly and privately. We know in our hearts that if he could today, he would want to respond by bringing global attention and a connectedness to those who are dealing with this debilitating disease and how it impacts so many individuals and their families. So yeah, tough going for Bruce. We're with you, Bruno. We're with you. Here's hoping for good health. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame that it's happening, to Bruce Willis of all people, Here's to you, Bruce. Yippee-o-ki-yay, MF. Should I say it? Yes, I'll say it. Yippee-o-ki-yay, motherfucker. So let's check the tote board here. Amu City is weighing in all over the place here. He's like, since I'm the resident troll, I'll be the one to say it. Only a matter of time before his line from Fifth Element becomes possible. I am a meat popsicle. Yeah, we'll be able to see dead people for real, huh? Let me tell you. Elena Kaczynski has popped in. Hello, Elena. Always good to see you. Been a minute. Glad you're with us this evening. Read the sad news earlier. Very sad. Yeah, it is. We're losing all of our, 2023 has become just as bad as 2000. This is the new 2016. Let's call this what it is. Okay. Sister Judy, I was wondering if he's seeing dead people. But and Amu City is saying, but in all sincerity, he is and was a great talented actor. I'm saddened by his deterioration. We all are, man. We all are. I was talking yesterday. I was on Twitter talking to people about Moonlighting. And what a great show that was. One of the best shows in the history of television, as far as I'm concerned. Bruce Willis, Sybil Shepherd. If you haven't seen this, it's from the early 90s. If you haven't seen the show, you need to. You really do need to. Because it is just an amazing piece of television. They broke the fourth wall on that show so many times and really did some very innovative things on the show. It wasn't a romantic comedy. It wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a drama. It was everything. It was so well written and so well acted by everybody. Let's see. Noreen's saying Moonlighting was the role model for my bud. Okay. And I'm sure Bud was very happy about that. But be that as it may. Not sure what was up with that. Moonlighting was the role model for my business. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Moonlighting was the role for my bud. I'm not sure how filling a water pipe can be an inspiration for moonlighting, but I guess if you're that high, you can come up with stuff like that. Not to mention he had some pipes, a.k.a. Respect Yourself. Yeah, Bruno and the Wailers, man. You gotta love Bruno. That was he couldn't really play harp very well. I'm putting it out there now. To fans of Bruce Willis, I make no apologies. The man was good at harmonica. He wasn't great. Okay? But yeah, Bruno and the Wailers was a good band. They really were. I will say that. So yeah. There's that going on. And in the meantime, too, we could go on talking about Bruce Willis all day. I mean, let's call it, okay? What was it that I watched last night? Oh, yeah, the final scene from Armageddon, where he's talking to Liv Tyler, talking about how, Daddy's not going to make it home. If you want to have a good cry, if you know the storyline to Armageddon, watch that scene. It is on YouTube. It is on YouTube. And people will, people definitely will just have the Kleenex nearby. I'm just saying, okay? Let's get some good news going, shall we? Can we get some good news happening here? A little quick happy blurb. Because, right now we've been on this show for 20 minutes and all of a sudden it's just been all bummers. Okay. And I mean, really, this is supposed to be a lighthearted show. It really is. If you're a new viewer, seriously, we're a heck of a lot friendlier and we're a heck of a lot funnier than this. Well, friendlier anyway. And even that's questionable. Happy birthday. What? Say what? Leave it alone. Let it go. Let it go. No, here's some good news. If you're a fan, I mean, people that have watched, and there's one or two people out there that still watch the Golden Globes. And you think back to the days of when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler used to host the Golden Globes. Remember that? Long before the days of Ricky Gervais, there was Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. And they were funny. They were great. I mean, Saturday Night Live, alumni. And they would talk about everything. Here's some good news. That if you're fans of these two, you're going to love. But the fact of the matter is, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are going out on the road. This is going to be a good show. According to Rolling Stone, they exclusively revealed yesterday that Tina and Amy are going to embark on their first live tour. It is the Tina Fey and Amy Poehler Restless Leg Tour that is produced by Live Nation. They're only playing 4 cities. Now, this is the part. They're doing the whole Pink Floyd on the wall thing. They're only playing 4 shows. So pay attention. If you want to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, as it says here on the graphic on your screen, we'll read along together. They're starting on April 28th at the DAR Constitution Hall in Washington. They're coming here to the great city of Chicago, to the Chicago Theater on May 20th. They're going to be at the MGM Hall in Boston, the MGM Hall at Fenway, that is to say, on June 9th. And their last date is June 10th in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Live East. The Hard Rock Live, that is to say, at Estes Arena. So they seem to be thrilled to get back together. According to a statement, Amy says in a video announcement, Tina and I have big news we want to share with you. We're headed out on the tour. Join us for the Restless Leg Tour coming to your city soon, it says here. It's going to be an evening of comedy, conversation, improv, maybe a little slow dancing between us. We don't know yet, but it's going to be awesome. Tickets went on sale this morning at Ticketmaster. Apparently, there's a limited number of VIP bundled tickets that'll be available for each show. So, yeah, if you're fans of Saturday Night Live, if you're fans of Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, check it out, the Restless Leg Tour. Coming to, well, a city near me anyway. I'm near you. Might have to do some traveling. I would suggest packing a lunch. We'll see what happens. Possible. You never know. But in any case, as long as we're doing this, let's do this. Let's do this. I've had people tell me for the last couple of weeks, you're not playing the guitar enough.
You should play the guitar more.
Lena said, did I hear you say this morning? Yes, tickets for Amy and Tino went on sale this morning at all Ticketmaster outlets across this great wide land of ours. Do a track from a Chicago legend, Wesley Willis. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know all the words to I Whoop Batman's Ass. Otherwise, I would. This morning. Oh, did I say this morning? No, I did not say this morning. I said this morning. Try to put words in my mouth. Rock over London, rock on Chicago, Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. See, I always remember Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions. Yeah. You know, and yesterday, oh man. Okay, 6 degrees here. It's time to play 6 degrees real fast. Yesterday was the start of what I used to call German American Greatness Week. German American Greatness Week was the fact that my former lead singer in Bullfrog, not my former lead singer, but the former lead singer of Bullfrog, the late great Gerd Hoch, and I would start a thing called German American Greatness Week because his birthday was yesterday, and mine, thanks to my sister's divulging this now, is Sunday. And we would kick off what we would call German American Greatness Week. Now, the reason I say that is because 6 Degrees, his ex-girlfriend, Renata, God rest her soul, went and saw and met Wesley Willis and said he was one of the sweetest people in the world. Went and saw him at the Uptown Theater in Chicago. And, yeah, he did the headbutt thing with her and everything, you know. So, yeah, there's that 6 Degrees. And Amy City is correcting me by saying the Wheaties line is from Rock and Roll McDonald's, which is one of my favorite songs from him. I really do like Rock and Roll McDonald's. Love that song. But speaking of songs, let me do this one. I haven't done this one in a while. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be releasing this as a single rather soon. So, yeah. One of my all-time favorites. The water is wide, and I can't cross over. Neither have I wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two. We both shall row, my love and I. There's a ship, she sails the seas, loaded deep can be, but not as deep as this hole I'm in. And I know not if I sink or swim. I lean my back against some trusty oak, thinking it was a trusty tree. But first it bent, and then it broke, is my true love. Prove false to me. Love is gentle. Love is kind. The sweetest flower when love is new. But love grows cold as it grows old. It fades away like the morning dew. And the water is wide, and I can't cross over. Neither have I wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two. We both shall row, my love and I. We both shall row, my love and I. Soon to be coming to a streaming service near you. As soon as I find the time to finally master the doggone thing, because it is recorded. And in fact, I'm going to do a little name dropping right about here because a good friend of mine, Anna GainerWorld, plays penny whistle on that track. And she did a magnificent job, and I thank her very much for that. And yeah, that's going to be coming out real soon. One of my all-time favorite Steve Goodman songs, as it were. So anyway, yeah, thank you again for everybody that is tuning in right now. I certainly do appreciate it, or clicking on us, or is potentially clicking on us from watching the replay. Thank you very much. If you want to join in the chat, you see what's going on here. There are people talking. People are talking. Oh, yes. Can they talk about you? Oh, yes. Watch them. Simply get on there. It's not over here. It's right there. This is where it's happening. I'm telling you right now. Get in there. We have a follow-up. In fact, we have a couple of follow-ups this evening. But this is one of them. And it's something that, well, we talked about it once before. And the only thing I can do really is just simply remind you one more time as a public service.
Leave Brittany alone! Please!
According to page 6, apparently Brit's at it again. Apparently her, and again, this is according to page 6, that her medical issues are, quote, far more complex than her fans realize. And those who know told Page Six that they remain worried about her well-being. Yeah. What is happening to our little Brit? Apparently there's growing concern for Britney Spears amid reports that her inner circle had planned, then abandoned an intervention for her, prompting the star to rage online the other night, or last night, that is to say, last Thursday night. There's obviously a lot of people who don't wish me well. Despite the worries about the singer, sources who have been working closely with Britney insist that she should not be locked up into another conservatorship, even though she still needs some help or care. But nobody outside the very small conservatorship circle knows what Britney's medical status really is, according to one highly placed source telling Page Six this. If people knew Britney's actual medical status, I think it would reveal that her mental problems are far more severe than people realize. Still, the source is saying, and again, this is a quote, regardless of her mental condition, it isn't necessarily appropriate for her to be under a conservatorship. There are less harsh ways to handle things. You can say that again.
Leave her alone!
So you might recall that Brit was under a very harsh conservatorship back in 2009, or 2008 rather, following a mental health crisis. Apparently her father, Jamie, took control of it. And Jamie was suspended in September 2021 from his daughter's conservatorship before its termination a few months later, following a campaign following the legion of fans who, as we all know, chanted as one,
Leave Britney alone!
The family has always denied the claims. They said they only wanted to help. Britney, meanwhile, has been accusing her father of forcing her to work tirelessly in Las Vegas and tried to kill her, and has blamed other family members for enabling the behavior. Whatever you think of Jamie, deep down, he does care about his daughter, and I don't think he wants this information about her medical status to come out. No matter what Britney has said about Jamie, he still loves her. Alrighty then. I never realized that Jamie was the villain in this situation. I think he's been utterly unfairly vilified by people who know nothing about this situation and have nothing to do with it. I hate to say it, but he could be vindicated. This is according to another insider. The judge didn't put her through an evaluation when she ended the conservatorship. That in itself was weird, according to this particular insider. So they're saying that there's something still wrong with our Brit. I don't know. On Thursday, here's the gist behind the whole story. On Thursday, TMZ reported that Spears' husband, Sam Ashkari, along with her manager, an interventionist, and doctors planned to try to convince her to get treatment and sequester her in a house in L.A. for 2 months, as feared she was going to die. Wow. A source later told Page Six that the intervention never took place because it was deemed unnecessary, although she did meet with a doctor. You might remember also back last month, the Britster took offense and got upset when she said fans apparently invaded her privacy and recorded her at a Hollywood restaurant, and then other fans called the police to perform a wellness check after she deleted her Instagram. She said that her fans had gone too far by calling the cops.
Leave Britney alone!
Ashgari confirmed Thursday that the intervention did not occur, although he notably did not deny that there had been a plan in place. Wow. My wife is in full... Now, Sam is saying to a statement on Access Hollywood, quote, "My wife is in full control of her life and will continue to make all decisions involving her care regardless of the circumstances." And he also added speculation on her health is inappropriate and should end immediately. In other words, yeah, you guessed it.
Leave her alone!
She herself has denied that she was in need of an intervention. She said on her Instagram account, "It makes me sick to my stomach that it's even legal for people to make up stories that I almost died." She added she's doing the best she can and that she probably has to stop posting on Instagram because there's obviously a lot of people who don't wish me well. Today, she posted a picture of a cartoon princess looking annoyed, writing, "There's too much negativity and drama going on. I'm a unicorn today because I want to be." Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, nothing wrong with our Brit. Press. P.S. I'm only wearing real diamonds from now on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Leave Brittany alone! Please!
It just never ends. It just never, ever ends. Is she crazy? Is she not crazy? Who cares? Really, you guys? Who honestly cares? You know? Dude was right.
Leave her alone!
Really? We all have better things to do with our lives. If she's turned into a whacked out nut job, hey! She's a whacked out nut job that's worth $45 million. I wish to God I had $45 million. I'd act as crazy as that. Oh yeah. I'd stay high. And can't nobody say nothing because I was worth $45 million. Noreen's saying crazy like a fox. Yeah, and that's the other side of the coin. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this is all just PR. But PR for what? She hasn't made an album. I mean, the last thing she did was that cover of Tiny Dancer last year with Elton John. And before that was what, 4 years since she released a single? She doesn't tour anymore. She doesn't perform anymore. I really wonder what kind of Prozac you have to have her on in order to get into the studio. I'd love to hear Elton's side of that. Yeah. And even Elena's going, yeah, definitely. Crazy like a fox. So, yeah, no. No, really, you guys.
Leave her alone!
Move on with your lives, okay? I'm just saying. On a more pleasant note, on a more justified note, let me put it to you this way. If you are a fan of country superstar Zach Bryan, here's a guy that I am quickly respecting in a very huge way. Now, people that know me know that I am not the biggest fan of country music. I make it extremely clear. But Zach is doing something that a lot of other artists should be doing. And how can I say this? He's taking the Tom Petty approach. If anybody remembers back in the 80s when Tom Petty would not release his Damn the Torpedoes album until the record companies decided to bring down the price of the album so it would be more accessible to his fans. Well, according to Rolling Stone, Zach's doing this, but he's stepped up the game a little bit. He's made a point of keeping the Burn, Burn, Burn tour, which is his current tour that he's out on. He wants to make this a fan-focused event. Now, how do you make it a fan-focused event? It's simple. Don't sell tickets for more than $156 total. That's not just for the nosebleeds. That's not just for the meet and greet. That's for the good tickets. This is what Zach Bryan is doing. And for this, I've got to applaud him for this. And the nice part about this, too, is that he is also enforcing, the use of a non-transferable ticketing policy to prevent all of the sharks like StubHub and SeatGeek and all those clowns trying to gouge the fans. In fact, the resale policy hasn't stopped any of the scalpers, even if the tickets aren't valid. According to Rolling Stone, tickets are currently listed for most of Bryan's concert dates on resale platforms like Vivid Seats and TickPick, all of them hundreds of dollars more than the highest face value that Zach has cited. The tickets are currently on sale through Access, AXS, Access. They're on pre-sale now. And according to Access's website, customers were first notified about purchasing tickets on Monday. All fans will have been notified if they were selected or not by the end of the day yesterday. I haven't heard any more information on that. Tickets purchased through Access cannot be sold for profit. But according to the company, they can be resold for face value to other fans through his Access marketplace. So, yeah, what they're saying basically is that if the scalpers get a hold of them, if the secondary people get a hold of them, they can't resell them. And they will not accept them if they are resold through like StubHub and all those clowns. AEG is promoting the show and selling tickets through its subsidiary, Access, and told Rolling Stone that any tickets purchased on any other resale platform will not be recognized, even if they were legitimately purchased by the original buyer. Anyone who presents a ticket purchased on the secondary market will be turned away at the show. Let me repeat this because it's extremely important we all understand this. Zach Bryan is telling people that he has placed a ceiling on the ticket prices for his tour. And if anybody, SeatGeek, StubHub, whoever, other than Access, if they buy tickets from one of these third party, they will not be accepted, and that person that bought that, anyone who presents a ticket purchased on the secondary market will be turned away at the show. Period. Bravo, Zach. It's about time people started standing up for the fans. And I think this is an exceptionally grand idea. A spokesman for AEG said in a statement, quote, and again, this is from Rolling Stone, all tickets on the Zach Bryan Burn, Burn, Burn tour are deemed invalid if they are sold on the secondary market. Although the spokesman didn't list any exemption to that policy, he said any tickets offered on resale sites are either fraudulent or will not be honored at the show. Give you an idea, okay? Like I said, right now, Access is selling these at a cap of $156 a pop. Okay, still kind of a little expensive, but you know, you've got expenses. But right now, Vivid Seats. Okay, there's a show that's coming up at Crypto.com Arena in LA. Vivid Seats are listing them at $260 for the cheap ones, $1,800 for the top end. Then there's a May 19th show at the Toyota Center in Houston. Vivid Seats is, $470 for the nosebleeds to $1,800 for the front row. StubHub, they're showing his show in New York at Forest Hills Stadium in June, $450 to $8,700. So yeah, Zach, hats off to you, bud. Hats off to you. I think this is a great idea, and I really think that more people should get in on this. I get it. I get it. People, people want to make a buck, but this is music. This is music. We play for the fans. And the fans can't afford to mortgage their house just to see you in a show. We've talked about this for years. Zach Bryan has finally done it. And, here's to you, bud. Here's to you. You and I disagree on music, but we agree on this one point. And hats off to you. Hats off to you, my man. We got one more. As a matter of fact, late for the party, says Brian Toll. Brian, good to see you, buddy. Better late than never, I say. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. We have one more update before we get out of here this evening. You might remember back last year, like October of last year, we talked about the fact that the rights to Winnie the Pooh entered public domain last year. And this was fodder for a film to be made that we've been waiting for. Rise Frake Waterfield has produced and directed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, I'm going to play the trailer real quick rather than try to explain all this to you. This is the trailer real quick. The movie has been released, but check this out. This is, if you're squeamish, you might want to fast forward for a few minutes.
You know, you're the first person I ever shown this place to.
And why am I so special?
Because soon we'll be Christopher and Mary Robin. We should be close now.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
Christopher, we need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happened here, okay?
This place is kind of cool. And did you see how to pool?
We need to go. There's... Laura's dead. There's someone else outside. What was that?
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear, I swear.
And you thought Toy Story 3 was bad. Well, according to Rolling Stone, this has been, as you can tell, it is in theaters now as of, it'll be in theaters March 10th. But Rolling Stone got a print of it. And I'm just gonna sum it up in a couple of sentences from them. This is from Rolling Stone. As you can tell, Christopher Robin abandoned them and they became feral killers. And by them, I mean Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, all of them. Okay? And there might be a worthwhile story in which Pooh and Piglet, all grown up and demonic, stalk and murder trespassers in their woodland home. If so, we're barely given the opportunity to imagine one because Blood and Honey is heavy on splatter and hostile to the plot, with its chief antagonist quickly becoming the type of indestructible Goliath who operates a drab imitation of Michael Myers. Oh, man. The movie garnered the interest, we know that, but to the action, or as much as can be followed in this haphazardly edited nightmare, run it down real fast. Christopher Robin is now an adult. He returns with his girlfriend to the forest where he enjoyed his innocent youth with a menagerie of friendly talking animals. He seemed to regret abandoning them in the wilderness, and if the rabbits and owls aren't perfectly at home there, Robin has only begun to explain this when a lumberjack version of Pooh shows up to murder his companion, who has wisely pointed out they needn't be wandering around a part of the countryside that resembles a Brothers Grimm illustration by way of the Blair Witch Project. So yeah, they're pretty much slamming this thing. And it's going to be in theaters March 1st. Yeah. The last sentences of the review from Rolling Stone just go on to say, obviously, the slut taking bikini selfies in the hot tub will have to pay the ultimate price for this behavior. Yet the sight of Piglet pinning her down so Pooh can drive a car forward and crush her head underneath the front wheel is curiously inert. Yeah. Coming soon to a theater near you. Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh. You guys thought I was kidding when we talked about this back in October. No, it is truly a thing, unfortunately. This is how far we've fallen as a society. That's just all there is to it. Oh, it's just terrible. Don't forget, coming up right after this, it is the Hugs Top 10 Countdown with Cyrus Gray over at Hugs 24/7 Radio, HUGSATWRGG.com. Go check it out. The best unsigned independent artists from around the world are going to be there, the top 10. That's coming up right after this. That is going to do it from here. Thank you so much for joining me. I certainly do appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Thank you to everybody who popped in and talked this evening. Charmaine, I did notice you. Thank you. Sorry I didn't get to you, but thank you so much for joining us just the same. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Do me a favor, will you? Like, subscribe, hit the notification thing, do all that YouTube stuff. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We'll see you next week. We out. Boom!